Hi everyone, it's Evangeline here at eTrailer, and today we're taking a look at the Inno Wedge Plus Rooftop Cargo Box. This is going to be a low-profile, sleek cargo box, and we'll see how it looks here on our 2021 Volkswagen Jetta. So I've done a bunch of videos on the Inno Wedge Plus. In fact, you can check out the full review if you want a really in-depth look at specs, dimensions, things like that. Here we're going to focus on how it looks on the Volkswagen Jetta and take some measurements and things like that for this car. But right off the bat, I really like how it looks. It does match the sporty look for the Jetta. Rather than being a huge box on top of your car, it's more sleek and streamlined. The downside to sleek and streamlined though is you can't fit as many items or your larger, taller items. This is ideal for things like your skis, your snowboards, or even your small surfboards. Roof boxes are more fun for me on smaller cars like this because they're easier to access. So for accessing it, you do get a set of keys. Both sides are keyed alike. You just pop the keys in, turn it to unlocked, and then press the button. Once that button is pressed, you can then use both of your hands if you want to lift that lid open. So this has 13 cubic feet of space, which is technically on the smaller side, even though it is a longer box. Exterior dimensions are 80 inches. Now, in terms of height for your extra large suitcases, this has a height of 12 inches for that lid opening. So that's a good rule of thumb. If your suitcase doesn't fit in through the lid, it's not gonna fit in the box. I really like the memory mount clamps. They have an integrated anchor point here for straps, which actually makes sense. They have an easy to use latching system. Plus, for the Volkswagen Jetta, even if you have smaller crossbar spread, these clamps can slide back and forth. It's a really large track just to make sure everything's secured. The box at 80 inches means that you still have plenty of clearance for your trunk here in the back. Compared to sometimes for hatches, they might be more limited there. For the Jetta, that's not a big deal. Now we have it pretty much centered here in terms of front and back, but let's take a look at the front. With how it sits over our front windshield, you might be concerned if it would limit your view. But here in our front seats, especially in the driver's seat, if I'm this far away from our steering wheel, can't see it, I can only kind of see it if I go as far forward. So my view isn't limited at all. So once you have your skis, your snowboards, your longer but lighter items on there, remember this does have a weight capacity of 110 pounds. So also consider that the box itself weighs 44 pounds. So for example, our Sea Sucker monkey bars here have 150 pound weight capacity. So add the 110 of your cargo, the 44 of your box, and you're just slightly over that capacity for your roof rack system. So keep that in mind when loading this up. So some people like to offset their roof box. This is dual axis, which means you can access it on the passenger side or the driver's side, whichever is easier for you. For the Jetta, I personally recommend having it centered on your vehicle. Offsetting it over to the side won't free you up that much space. The width of the box is 33 inches and 3/4 inches wide. So if you do want to put a bike rack over to the side, take those measurements, double check. So this is made of ABS plastic, which is the same material that you'd usually find on your spoilers. It sits 13 inches high at its very top point, but just notice the shape of it and how streamlined and sleek it is. So that combined with everything else just helps protect your cargo without taking up too much or causing too much wind drag and wind noise. Something to remember though is this does have a transparent acrylic coating which keeps it so glossy. The downside is if you're parked underneath a tree or drive underneath branches, things like that, or you have greasy fingers, those can show up as scratches. It tries to help prevent that, but it is gonna happen. So my personal thoughts about this roof box is I'm surprised it fits so well on our Volkswagen Jetta. It is again very sleek, but depending on what type of cargo you're carrying, if you're carrying larger suitcases, it might not be the best fit for you. If you want something that has similar cubic feet in space, but is a little taller and designed for larger items, check out the Yakima Rocket box. That is a good option for you in terms of a smaller but taller box. Now, if you really like this design and you really like how it looks, definitely something worth considering for your Volkswagen Jetta. Just make sure you have the roof rack to carry it with. So we have custom fit roof racks here at eTrailer, or you can use the Seasucker monkey bars, which is what I used for this video. So to get the box onto your roof, I highly recommend getting a friend to help you out. We're gonna lift this up and over onto the crossbars. You can technically do this all by yourself, but it's a little bulky for that. So once we have that over, we're just gonna get that lined up to where we can get the clamps on. You're gonna have 4 of these clamps. These just pop in over the crossbar, set your tension, and then clamp that down. So once you get all 4 clamps tightened down and secured, you're ready to load up your box and go. Just like that, super simple, super fast. And that right there was a look at the Inno Wedge Plus rooftop cargo box here on the 2021 Volkswagen Jetta.